This is the moment. Well, it's not really. It kind of is. Sort of. So let's talk about the moment. G'day, it's Adam here again with another quick instant movie review for you. So tonight I caught The Moment. This is a 2026 American mockumentary film directed by Adrian Zamiri, who co-wrote it with Bertie Brands from an original idea from Charlie XCX. The film stars XCX as well as Rosanna Arquette, a whole swag of people, including Alexander Skarsgård. So what's this about? Well, Charlie XCX plays a version of herself, a pop star whose arena tour debut looms. And basically she finds herself caught inside the afterglow of that outbreak and under a mounting pressure of what all this could be. She finds out what it costs to stay on top. So Charlie XCX has described this not as a tour documentary nor a concert film in any way, but the idea was formed from being pressured to make both of those. In addition, she noted that while the film was a work of fiction, the film was also the realest depiction of the music industry that she had ever seen. So she told that to Vanity Fair. And said that there was one project that she had turned down during this period, and she felt like the market was already saturated, sort of making like a concert film. So she describes it sort of as what would happen if she'd made some completely different choices around her sixth studio album, Brat, which came out in 2024. Now, interesting enough, the DOP on this is Sean Price Williams, and that's going to be really important as I go into this review because this did feel like an anxiety ride. It feels like something that's akin to something like Good Times or Uncut Gems or even a little bit of Muddy Supreme. So, of course, we're talking Safdie Brothers territory, and the DOP on this did shoot, indeed, Good Times. So that was the film that starred Robert Pattinson and was really an anxiety-driving film directed by the Safdie brothers. And this has a very similar sort of vibe to it. It's shaky cam city. It's also full in your face cam. It's also shaky drop the cam. When I started to watch this film, I was like, what the devil am I watching? There was a big thing at the front with a Brat credit card and Brat posters and people with Brat t-shirts and everything like that. Now, let's start this off by saying I am not a Charlie XCX fan. I've listened to a few of her songs. I kind of know what she's all about. I really like the song Gone that she did. Going into this, I went in completely blind. I didn't know what I was walking into. I knew Charlie XCX was involved. I saw the poster. I was sort of fascinated by it. And I saw that Alexander Skarsgård was in this film. And I'm like, what is this all about? What are we going to be walking into? So I sat down and went with my daughter. And I sort of started and I was like, it's noisy. It's like a music video. It's kind of like A24 gritty, kind of what's happening right now. There's lots of glitchiness, lots of strobing, and I was like, am I going to have a fit right now? And then the film kind of stops, and then it kind of goes into, a bit of it felt like a documentary, kind of get to know this person a little bit, sort of discover who all these people around her are and stuff like that as the film goes along. And I got to about a quarter of the way into the movie, and then there was some comments made, and I was just like, what? By characters on the screen about this tie into the Brat credit card, and that it was focused on a homosexual, was the demographic. And I was like, what? You can't say that. And then everyone started to laugh, and I'm like, okay, so this is a mockumentary. This is actually a satire on what's going on, and Charlie XCX is playing a version of herself, and I kind of got it, and I sort of settled into the film, and I was like, okay, so this is just going to be a full mockumentary. All right, well, let's go. And then it kind of didn't, and then it never really kept that momentum of the chuckles and the hilariousness and just the complete audacious nature of the music industry mixed with the film industry, because you have Alexander Skarsgård, who's kind of making this film documentary for Amazon as the concert film. So it kind of was that. So it was kind of a bit of a mishmash of two different things. And as Charlie XCX said, this actually is a concoction of a documentary and a tour film or a concert film. And so that was a bit odd. So, I mean, this had moments where I'm like, it's going to go full Spinal Tap. I can't wait to see where we're going. But at the start, I was like, oh, she's really pretentious and she smokes and she does all these things. And, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure about this character. And then I found out it was a mockumentary, and I'm like, okay, cool. Well, let's delve into the person that you're not, and let's have fun with this. But I didn't know enough about Charlie XCX to really understand what she was and what she wasn't. So I had to let the film kind of tell me, and there was so many contradictory tones and stuff going on over here, and then the whole time the camera is just like shaky and a bit out of focus and kind of gets dropped, and I guess what the mechanics of it weren't overly well explained. And I would have just gone, okay, cool, if you're going to do this, just lean heavily into it, really go for it, because what we're kind of left with is this really pseudo surreal satire, but isn't really. And are the fans just going to be happy to see Charlie XCX, and how's it all going to work? The one thing I will say is this: she is great. She's really good at playing a version of herself that clearly isn't herself, because you wouldn't want to be that obnoxious on the screen. But she's also demonstrates that she's a pretty real person, and this was the first time that I really clocked that she had Indian heritage behind her Cambridge upbringing. So it was very interesting to sort of see that. Has this made me a fan of Charlie XCX's music? I don't think so. Do I want to go further into her back catalogue? Probably not. But I am interested in her as a person. I'm interested to see what she will do next, because I actually kind of wouldn't mind seeing her jump up in a few films, because she played a pretty good version of herself, and it wasn't self-gratifying. It wasn't self-deprecating. It was kind of this weird middle section, which was just bare enough to kind of show you what a pop star can be, and restrained enough to sort of not give you the full picture. But obviously a bit of a sting in the tail for record industries and for people trying to make pop stars fake. But I'm not 100% sure I was completely sold. But anyway, so The Moment, probably give it like 6 out of 10. Still don't really understand it. but it's kind of, I just wish it was funnier. I kind of just wish it just really went for it in the humor stakes, because it's kind of a bit weird. But anyway, that's my review of The Moment. What is your favorite mockumentary? Are you a fan of This Is Spinal Tap? Are you full on Christopher Guest? Are you Best in Show for your consideration? Like, where are we going with this? Comment below, let me know. I'd love to get your feelings on it, and I look forward to seeing you all next time here in my car, because this is The Moment. Good night.